Mm. Okay, run that. Screw it, I don't care about running it. Okay, I guess we'll get right into it. So, uh, I'm your slime. I play games on the internet. I try to play them good. Focus around, your core stuff, your Zeldas, your Mega Mans, your Metroids, your Diablos, Warcraft, Starcraft type of stuff. Adventure, strategy, roguelike type of gamer. That's what I do. If you follow me or watch what I do, you know that is what I do. And I'm here with Burke. Burke, who are you? What you do?
I'm wild_Burke, and I would say I'm a horror specialist, but recently I have been generalizing to basically any game under the sun,
Nothing wrong with
and
that.
a former speedrunner of Art 4.
Hey, you still speed run.
Yeah, I just don't consider myself in the running these days because I haven't broken a sub 2 in a while.
Yeah, that's not so bad. Not so
It
bad.
ain't the worst. I'm stubborn about my strats.
Well, as any good speedrunner should be. Okay, so let's see. All right, we got the old world of horror in the background that we're going to be talking about today.
I have sunk far too many hours into this game.
Haven't we both?
I what's your
Let me
number
see where
count?
I'm at on this, just out of curiosity. Oh, I've only
Because
put 42 or 45 hours into it compared to your.
I have 165.
Yeah, a few more hours than me.
I've only laughed you a couple times. Don't worry, you'll catch up in the second half. The
Okay.
fatigue will kick in.
Well, I guess we should start out with the basics on this. What is World of Horror?
It's kind of hard to describe for someone who didn't grow up like when these games came out, but I would describe it as a classic 1980s, 1990s like DOS adventure game. Something not quite akin to King's Quest or Space Quest entirely, but it's a lot more text-based. You are given solutions, and it handles kind of like a board game, actually, if you play a lot of board games like Arkham Horror or things like that. I think it's pretty, as you solve various mysteries to get to the end of the game.
Yeah, let me
Basic,
see. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll just say, I think the basic objective of the game is, depending on difficulty, solve 5 or on easy mode 4 mysteries to unlock the lighthouse and stop whatever eldritch terror the cultists are trying to summon in your quiet little town of Shiokawa.
So, yeah, inspirations for this. You're looking at Junji Ito is a core inspiration, obviously. The artwork looks like Junji Ito. The narrative is of a Junji Ito style. The culture
Yeah,
is of that bent.
very yokai influenced. It's more Japanese, but it was made by a Polish dentist. I don't know about the dentist part, but I know it's Polish.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be a dentist to come up with some of the things you see in here. At least I would think so.
Very Lovecraft inspired, but there's some other fun ones out there too. I'm hoping in the modding community we'll get more like Robert Chambers and other more bizarre horror aspects in here as we go, but you know, this is a game made by one dude basically, with some people adding on mods here once in a while. So
Yeah.
it's very impressive for an indie game.
Yeah, just to add a quick tangent, just plugging this into Chat GPT about what is similar to World of Horror. You're looking at Call of Cthulhu, Sunless Sea, Detention, Lone Survivor, Amnesia, Stalker, Pathologic, Oxenfree, Layers of Fear, Conarium. Don't think I've played that one, but those sound about accurate relative to what this is. But I don't know if that's exactly how the gameplay loop works 100%. How would you describe the gameplay loop, Burke?
Gameplay loop is a mix of what I essentially call board game events, like House on Betrayal of the Hill, where you go into a room, it triggers an event, and then using what you read on the event, you're given a choice of options, and based on the choices you have available and what you can think they relate to. For example, you hear a spooky ghost in the bathroom. Do you close the door or do you try to run out of there? And if you run out of there, you take a penalty for losing reason, but if you just close the door, the ghost will find you and you have to fight it, right? And you have different skill sets that help you get out of different situations, like you're being stalked someone, do you hide in the crowd? Or do you use your charisma to try and confront the person? You know? And then that's like the first half. And then the second half is the combat sections, which plays more like a time management simulator, is the only way I can describe it, mixed with some XCOM. Where you have so much time to do specific actions before the enemy will hit you, which includes attacking, power attacking, and if you don't have a weapon, you can just kick them. Take your time to aim a little better, fully prepare the attack for a guaranteed hit. I'm going to go through the list here.
Yeah, just go through the list by all means, like I said.
You have supporting actions, which is stuff like blocking the attack, looking for an improvised weapon, which will guarantee you a weapon every time you look for it. They're just not usually that great. Dodge, if you have a high dexterity build, I'd highly recommend trying a dodge every once in a while, because it's always percentage based, but you can always go for a dodge on any move. Even if you don't have the dex for it, you can always go for it. Or you can run away at the cost of the third resource of the game, which I'm sure we'll fix in editing, is Doom. I'm all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the combat. There's ghost actions, but that's special stuff. That's more of like you can do the spiritual system, clapping and bowing, and if you can do the mastermind 5 move right, you'll automatically win the ghost fight at the cost of whatever one hit it would be. Or you could just beat the crap out of whatever severs it to the world, which is what I typically do, because I've learned on average it's faster to do that more reliably.
Mm-hmm.
But,
mm-hmm. Well, to dial this back to where I was when I started playing this game, which that is still posted up that people can watch if they want, but getting back to it, you're going to notice 2 things with this game when you start playing it. Number 1, you're going to be very badly disoriented as to what goes on because the UI is not standardized, the symbolism is not standardized, there's a lot of arcane runes, suggestive symbolism, not in like a sexual way, but in a symbolic way that's not intuitive, that you have to figure out from repeatedly playing the game. And the second hold on this is just figuring out how to survive on a basic level. As I have mentioned before, you're working with basically high school kids trying to survive against Cthulhu-esque monsters. They're not trained. You go to a general store, you don't have military hardware most of the time. Best you're going to get is probably Home Depot.
hey, Home Depot's got the crowbar.
Oh yeah, it does have the crowbar, but I mean, you're literally gonna try and punch out Cthulhu here. The game, the way it works is you're fighting, like you said, a Doom counter. Every time you make a move, the Doom counter will go up. If it hits 100%, you lose. So you are fighting the clock with every strategic decision you make.
I like the opening line of the game itself. With your dwindling resources, health, insanity, you attempt to stop the impossible.
Yeah, let me see if I can get the intro to pop on this as a matter of fact.
It's not quite that, but it's always set the tone of like, the odds are bleak, but we have no choice.
Yeah, let me see.
We are the only ones who can stop this event.
Yeah, for some reason, although that's not completely explained. So let's see. Yeah, it has
that's just,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, the way it's loading, it's loading up an old basic 3.1 DOS system, or a Windows system is how it is, more or less.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't grow up on a DOS system, but I played a lot of emulation of DOS games. Think Project Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Firefight? This is for my brain right now.
Mm-hmm. This is 9.9.2, the version that we're talking about on this, if anyone's curious, for future reference. Anyway. Yeah, that is the simple lead-in. Let's see. So, the missions on this, at least, I guess I would describe this from a strategic angle. You have 2 situations you largely find yourself in. In situation 1, you're locked into an event. You can't go to stores. You can't travel around. You just have to essentially go through that event and survive somehow. The second event, it allows you to travel around the town, go to stores, collect resources, interact with people, collect allies, get spells, find information, and, well, it has more of a logistical loop as opposed to just a... I guess it would be considered survival horror, is the term that it would be in the corridor versions, right, Burke?
Still consider it survival horror in the sense that it's basically intensive resource management.
And I mean...
But it is more of a... It's more of a visual novel survival horror, if I had to describe it in any way.
Yeah, I guess it would be. It doesn't always feel that way, but it can very much play that way in function. So, alright, I guess I'll go ahead and start up the tutorial over here. Spine scissors.
I think the tutorial that Pants made is one of the finest introductions to a tutorial ever made. Because it just throws you in. It doesn't exactly... It tells you a little bit of what to do. Like, oh, hey, you need to check your friend's inventory system. Your inventory system for your friend's diary to figure out how to fight this being. And it just shows you how to use your inventory, how to get in and out in a safe environment. It makes you go through a couple scenarios, a couple regular fights, and then a boss fight. And it gives you a rating based on how well you did it. What makes School Scissors more interesting, though, is it's one of the few mysteries that has a dedicated room that doesn't actually affect the mystery, but it will give you a chance to get an item and also a chance to hurt you. It's one of the few rooms that can do both.
Oh, it started me out with some different stuff this time.
You didn't get a baseball bat?
No, it started me out with a straight razor and a takoyaki.
They might have... I think they updated the tutorial, because I've been playing since... I think since the early 2021 patch.
Yeah, this is new. This wasn't here before. Well, you know what? Just as well. So it gives you a primer. It shows you the city. It takes you to the lighthouse where... I guess that's where the evil summoning ritual for the Eldritch Monster is taking place. You need 5 keys to unlock the tower to get up in there and get through the fortress gauntlet, as you do. It's going to drop us... I'll turn the combat tutorial on, too. I don't know if I can turn all the tutorials on. I guess I'll check that real quick. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't matter.
I do love the filter you're on.
Neon Slasher is probably one of the top filters, as long as it doesn't bother your eyes. I know you use a filter that has like 3-color depth that I also like. I forget what it's called.
I like my other favorite one is the one that's black, white, and yellow. So it always looks like police hazard tape.
Yeah. I could totally see that.
That's my personal favorite. It's because it's also a very, maybe it's because I'm partial to that Sin City chapter where the guy's always yellow. I've always been partial to that style.
Alright, so most of the mysteries will start up that way. It'll give you a loose collection of rumors revolving around a type of supernatural event, which they call a mystery. And in this particular mystery, you're exploring the, I guess the rumor of a school scissors woman running around maiming and murdering people in a school. And I think this is based on an actual Japanese myth, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. A lot of them, like Scissors Lady, Akimanto, they're both very, very famous Japanese urban myths. And the Scissors Woman is it's a woman with a face mask, and she'll come to you usually at a train station with their small children. Am I beautiful? And you'll be like, you don't want to offend the lady, right? So you'll say yes, or you'll be like, "Who the hell are you?" But she'll take the mask off and be like, "Am I pretty now?" And no matter what you do, she'll cut you.
Yeah.
If you go by the binary answer system, and a lot of the Japanese folklore always involves with some kind of just like weird, not weird, but like a pedantic response, like, you're all right," and then you just run the fuck away before you like, "Wait, what did you say?"
Yeah.
Or like Kappa's famous for their gruesome way of murdering you. Is they have a bowl on their head, and if you can get them to make the bowl on their head fall off, you can win. So if you bow at them, they'll bow back at you and they'll tip their own bowl over.
Yeah, this is true, and this is all, this is Japanese mythology that, I mean, I guess if a person's a fan of Junji Ito, you may have a working cultural knowledge of this, but I think the majority of people going into this will not have that particular expertise necessarily.
Yeah, you don't have to read the 900-page folklore book I have. It's
I mean, if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, well, that's what this is for.
I wasn't, but I wanted to be well-read for the game.
That's totally understandable. But as I was saying, to most people, most of this will come off as strange, bizarre, and mysterious, even if you have a working knowledge. Observing how it's implemented and how you interact with it in the game will still be a novel experience all the same. Okay, so let's see, continuing on this, I don't think... Let's see, what is the button? What is the button that it highlights
Investigate
there?
mystery.
Z. Alright, as a quick note for tips for anyone starting out, you can hit Z at any point to figure out what you can actually click on. Sometimes you can click on things in the environment you don't think you would be able to click on, and it may give you, you know, just a interactive doodad. Sometimes it will give you resources, sometimes it will lead to alternative events. There's also non-linear actions you can take that may lead to further events, additional character classes, additional resources. I'll try to catch them as I go through this. I know some of them, but I don't know all of them.
There are a couple that also aren't very obvious to the users, like I'll talk about as we go through later.
Alright, so this is the drop-in for the tutorial, where instead of starting in your home in the city, you're starting in your classroom with a limited set of logistical options, but 4 choices in front of you. You have a window prompt. Go ahead.
I always check the school lockers first.
I mean, more stuff never hurts, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, when the first time I actually played this, I didn't think this lock actually did anything, so I didn't interact with it the first 4 or 5 times I went through this. Why? I'm not sure.
I click on every option just because when it's your first time playing, the best way to learn any game is just oh, I can't do that. Cool.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what this is. My logic was, oh, this is another option that's locked because I'm in the tutorial. That's what my thinking was.
Then when you hover over, it says check out school lockers. So I'm like,
yeah.
They'll tell me no, right?
So, I mean, I guess if you actually understand that, you'll go through this. You'll click on the lockers. So you're in the locker room. There's stuff in lockers, so naturally you're going to do that. Most people...
So
Go ahead.
Oh, fun thing is you can actually translate those symbols. They correspond to lighthouse events, actually.
Oh, really? That's kind of neat. So yeah, using our patented Z button, we can see that we can interact with these 3 lockers, which you would know anyway from mousing over it. And I think most people would probably go left to right on this as far as they're interacting with lockers. So, first one you interact with, you get this. It's a trap. And yeah, I think you actually take damage from this when you open it up, right?
You take 2.
Yeah, you take 2 damage. Again, getting used to the stat page over here takes a little bit. You have your inventory up here. You have your equipment up here. You have your basic stats over here, which I think it goes over this when you have the full tutorial running. You have your active spells. We have Cauterize right here, which allows to heal.
Ooh, Cauterize is a really good spell. Low, it's a one-time use, but the big thing is it has no drawback. It's just a simple, straightforward... Most spells usually have a trade-off, or... So, the second one... We open her up. I don't know why. I don't read Japanese, but I always operate right to left. I think it's because for me, it's how close it is to me from the camera perspective.
That would make sense. But I think most people are going to go left to right. I originally went left to right, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, second locker has a bat in it. A bat is a lot better than having nothing, obviously, so...
I love the straight razor, though, but straight razor is actually a weapon I'm not too savvy with, because I've never seen it in my inventory. But I assume it's going to be a dex build. Or, oh, it's perception.
It's a perception weapon, which I guess they just wanted more perception weapons.
Well, I think what they did was, because again, I'm reacting. I haven't done the tutorials in a while. That's going to be better, actually, on your current character than the bat. The bat is a strength build weapon.
Oh yeah, because I have 8 perception relative to 7 strength, so this is going to be a better weapon.
It's not always the case, but out of the bat, that's a pretty good weapon. Decent speed, decent chance to hit.
It's a little
remember
faster, but not by much.
The chance to hit is a lot lower, which
Mhm.
is the thing. The other thing you'll
Hey,
need to know
Chator.
is two-handed. It's two-handed versus one-handed weapons. Two-handed weapons, when you do a heavy attack, they have a longer windup. It will do more damage, though.
Yeah, that's
Than a
actually something
one-handed.
I didn't know myself, but I guess it makes sense, huh? At least
Yeah,
when you
because
think
you can do
about
the
it.
big windup. It's why weapons like the katana or the crowbar. It's the reason if you can make a build for it, you go for the heavy slash and then try to block.
Mm-hmm. So anyway,
Versus a
just to
one-handed.
make a quick note of this, the weapon is going to be connected to an attribute. The higher your attribute, the better you will be with this weapon. I think that's realized in being able to hit more accurately and faster.
It's typically just faster. I still don't know what makes the weapon chance go up for different stats because like I know perception helps with every hit,
Mm-hmm.
but I know other stats affect it because like I've had a knowledge weapon that couldn't hit well until I upped its strength for some reason.
Who
Um,
knows? That could be anything.
that's something I need to experiment more and personally see, or someone explains the code to me on that one, because I've seen it affected, but I can't verify that one yet without consistently running that.
Yeah, again, the goal of this is to kind of brief people on how to get in here, get oriented, and survive, and start getting your runs in on
You,
this.
you don't need the entire WikiHow option over here.
Yeah, we're not going to give
Hello.
a massive breakdown. Oh, we got someone coming in. Let me have a look
Yeah,
here. That's
it's
perfectly
that.
fine. Oh, all right. Just so you know, you're on stream.
I know. I'm in your stream.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine if you just want to hang out. Do you actually got a Fuji React? Do you want one?
Oh, I don't have one. I
Don't
don't
worry
know
about
if
it
I
if you don't
want
need it, man.
Yeah, we'll just keep going on with this. All right. Let's see. Is that stolen? Why is that stolen? Shouldn't be stolen. Okay. Anyway,
But,
back to it. All right.
The takoyaki is also new for the tutorial, or maybe I haven't done it in a long time. But
Well-
takoyaki's. The other big thing you want to check out, by the way, is a magnifying glass on each item because it will tell you an extra detail about them.
It's tasty. I guess fair
For that
enough,
one-
right?
But there are some items you do want to inspect. Any like mystery related item you ever get, you want to read the fine details with that.
Yeah, I think I've been skipping this, unfortunately, but yeah. Certain American heist thriller film. You don't need to shave right now.
There's some pretty good lines in it too.
Oh
my favorite
God.
being the katana that you get from a different dimension, and it says it's literally folded a million times.
Yeah, that's one of the better weapons. That might actually be the best weapon in the game, but I'm not sure. It's certainly up there, though.
I argue chainsaw flamethrower, but
I've never managed to get either of those. The best one I've managed to knock loose has been the katana, so hey.
I think the chainsaw is the strongest, but the problem is you need chainsaw fuel for it.
yeah,
Yeah,
And then the katana is coming to you.
katana is
Is
luck
coming
based.
to second.
Katana's luck based, and chainsaw you do need 3 prereqs. You need to have the mystery that you actually need to go for it available. You need to have a flashlight before you get to the event that would trigger the chainsaw. Otherwise, you just get a flashlight. And then after that, you need to either have fuel on hand, that mystery, which means you prepped for it, or you have to find it after said mystery. And
Mhm.
fuel's not cheap.
Well, katana has infinite ammo because katana.
It's rolled a billion times.
Oh. But yeah.
Also, because you said about the hit chance, the power of the enemy also is like the stronger the enemy is, the less your chance to hit.
Yep. I
Yep.
figured we'd explain that, though, when we got into combat.
Yeah.
That it's still a valid point.
Mm-hmm. So let me see what the
Yes.
hell else I got here. So they probably put the takoyaki in the inventory for so you know that you can use a consumable item. Yeah, you didn't used to start with anything in this tutorial, but I guess it's been a while even since I've started playing this game. But anyway, rounding out this stage over here, you're going to go for the last locker. It's going to tell you need a tiny key. So
I think they they added these items to this character because they are the base items he starts with.
I thought he started with a
So-
camera.
He starts with a camera in the base game.
Oh, it was the guy. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot the girl, the one girl you have to unlock.
Mimi gets a
starts with
scalpel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mimi gets a scalpel. Yeah, she's the only one that starts with the weapon, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's not the only one.
Who's the other one in the base characters? The base roster.
Mimi is not base.
She's base roster.
No, you unlock her after you finished your second run.
Your first run.
No, your second.
Huh. Guess I'm wrong.
We'll have to do a check on
And the
that.
other one will be the girl in the forest.
Yeah, but I don't consider her base roster.
Yeah, she's not base.
Okay.
Mimi, on the other hand, is in the base roster, and she was out in the first patch. How about, do you want? That's what I'll call it. When in the original 6, including Mayhem Girl, that's the original 7 up there. Anyway,
If you
moving
do it
on.
like this, yeah, okay. But technically, she's not base.
And moving on. I said we'll
All
agree to disagree.
Yeah, move on.
So anyway, you got the third locker here. You try to open it. It requires a key. I think what this does, setting up a precedent here, it shows you that there is more to the world that interacts with each other than just this one scenario and just this one room, because you actually require another item, a key from another event to open this locker, and you have to complete that event before you come here if you want to be able to access this locker. Which I think that's actually... Oh, yeah, and if you idle for a long time, it does a jump scare when you click on it.
Yeah.
You can tell we're used to it, but you ain't getting this open. So that's that.
You get a rifle though if you have the gun for it. It's pretty neat. I forget if it's what it is after you burn the school because I've never gone. Oh, I'll spoil that.
We'll get to that later, because that's it's another layer for the random elements. But yeah. Well, I think the next thing a person would do would probably check their storage, which this is something you normally have in your home. You have access to it in this scenario for one reason or another. It's probably to show you that you have an inventory outside that you can access where you can store things in and store things out. Again, going back to the items. You have a briefcase option here where you can send an item to storage. If you hit that, it'll go to your storage, which is in here, which I don't believe this has a limit. And you can take it out. Your initial limit here starts with 4 items. So it's kind of like Resident Evil. You do not have a lot of inventory space to play with. And even when you upgrade it, you just go to 6. It doesn't go past that.
Mm-hmm.
So you aren't going to be able to be hauling around an entire Home Depot in your inventory like Diablo. That's not going to work here. But anyway.
Also, you have to think about there are some mysteries where you cannot access your storage.
Well,
So
yeah,
if you know,
that is
I
the
saw
case in
I
most of
didn't
them.
know if it was. I didn't know. I don't know if if it was on your stream swamp or on someone else's. He was on one mystery and he needs to get an item. He got the item, but his inventory was full, and then it got stored in the storage, and he couldn't access to it.
Yeah, that's the Macabre Manor, the Vicious Virgil.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's kind of a funny mission. But anyway, you retrieve your friend's diary, which gives further exposition on what's going on in this mission. It's a scrawled out mess. But the 2 takeaways you have from this, your big hints: you need candles, you need this sigil here. You need the chalk to write this symbol. So in this situation, we have I would call it a star with a hook on the top. That's probably an accurate characterization. You will have to draw this symbol. If you fail to draw this symbol, the demon that is here will be empowered, and it will be, I believe, twice as strong as it would be if you suppressed her. So, pretty important you get this right, and if you don't, you'll know. You'll know very quickly. So, we'll go ahead and store this over there, because we don't need it now, assuming that we have it memorized properly. So, we obviously have 2 options left here. We can't perform the ritual because we don't have no chalk, we don't have no symbol, so the only option we're left with is to explore the school, and, well, much like investigating any other area, it's going to send you on the core gameplay loop, which you're going to go somewhere, you're going to search, an event is going to prompt. Here's an example of the basic event screens. You will generally have two or more or less, I think you get 2 options most of the time. Or does it give you 4 options?
It can be up to 4.
It can give you up to 4 options. So in this specific situation, you have 1 option. You have another option if you have a specific perk. We don't have that. So all we can do, get closer. I don't even think you get a roll on this. I think it just dings you, right?
Yeah, so events in this game are kind of interesting. Some of them are, it's pure like, you have 2 options, roll for whichever stat you think you have a better shot at.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other ones that are like, this is going to happen to you, or if you have the skill for it, you'll get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other, skill or item, because some items are all you need to get out of it. Like, hey, you're in a dark room. Well, just use your flashlight, dumbass. You know, like...
Yeah, and since this is an introductory thing, one of the skills that you're probably going to want to pick because it gives you good point value is quick thinking. It applies to more scenarios than most things, so generally when that stat comes up, or that perk comes up, pick that. It'll swing the odds in your favor more than it would otherwise.
It also gives you 1 dexterity bonus, which is always nice.
Mm-hmm. And Dex it's probably one of the better stats out of what you have available, but in this situation, again, you're fighting Eldritch monsters, Eldritch horrors, and the wake of their, existence on this plane. So you're going to take wear and tear. In this case, it's working on your sanity because you're encountering something that, frankly, shouldn't be here. So in this case, you just kind of suffer and carry on. So let's see, it's dropped us in a classroom, which... You will move from one area to another, but that is essentially the loop there where you'll have an encounter. Sometimes it'll be combat, sometimes it'll be environmental. So in this situation, pretty much a dud, nothing happened. So all we can do, keep exploring. Unless I'm missing something, which I don't think I am. Nope.
You're not.
Doesn't look like it.
Most other mysteries where it's not this, like, those ones are pretty railroaded in mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Other ones, it'll have a circle where you should be going.
Yep.
Where it's like, oh, I should head downtown. There'll be a circle around the downtown marker.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you have to do certain things where you can complete a mission. I call it short version versus long version. Long version takes longer, you get better rewards, and there's tends to be a higher challenge. Short version, you're just trying to get through it quickly because your doom counter is running too high.
Or you're low on health.
Also that. And as I was saying earlier, doom counter's right up here. When this reaches 100, bad things happen. Really bad things happen.
It's the other thing you should know that as doom goes up, monsters will get stronger too.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I don't know how it exactly scales, but that is very much true.
Basically, try not to ever leave a boss fight for your final fight on it, because suddenly a boss that did 3 damage to all both stats suddenly now does 5 to 6 damage.
It's a much bigger problem to deal with at that point.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Oh yeah, it's when you play Harbinger of Doom, you really notice it when you have a Harbinger of Doom is the hardest difficulty, and sometimes you just get pelted with like 30 Doom in one mystery.
That's pretty nasty.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh god, it just keeps getting further and further away from you. But in normal mode, actually anything, even True Believer, it's never that vicious. Harbinger of Doom is just a sadistic game mode where your character starts with lower stats, everything costs more money, and monsters are typically stronger.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go ahead and fire another loop on this because this is essentially a dead end, so we have to keep exploring. Heading to the gym. Okay. Again, pretty much more of the same over here. You encounter something that's weird and it kind of freaks you out. In this situation, you get nauseous because you see a beating heart and an anatomy statue. Not something you see every day.
To be honest, that's the one thing that would upset me.
Oh, really? Seeing a beating heart?
Inside a mannequin?
Well, it's there, I mean...
It freaked me out. I don't... No. That's all I'm going to say, no.
I mean, it'd be kind of like, huh, that's kind of weird. But then again, I don't have the normal response to a lot of things, so, yeah. It's like, yeah, that heart's beating. All right.
Okay, move
Yeah,
on.
alright, whatever.
Anyway,
That's totally normal.
All right, so it went ahead and gave us the chalk, or it's telling us the chalk is on the roof. This one was always a little confusing. It seems like it skips ahead for some reason.
Well, it's more of, I assume it's more like a D&D situation where the DM is like, congrats, you found another page. It seems they left it on the roof.
Yeah, they're moving the story ahead, which there's nothing wrong with this. But yeah, I think the one thing that you'll notice that's different here, other than that getting pushed ahead, is you have another option here to peek outside. Okay.
That is an achievement.
Yeah, that is technically an achievement, but you probably click on it because you're curious. So you get a window here. You open it up. Spooky, scary thing.
Oh, you got Mask Man. Very nice.
But yeah, again, this is probably for the sake of atmosphere and oppression. It accomplishes it accomplishes this fairly well, I would say. I mean, it tells you that you can interact. Actually, you know what? Huh, it's not lighting up. Can I not use it again?
It says
Oh,
it
you can
sounds
only
smart
do
to
it once.
again.
Huh, I don't know why
it'll
it's not
say something
highlighting,
like,
though.
Better not risk it again, is what it was going to say.
Yeah, I would think it would highlight the handle. Maybe it highlighted it the first time. Oh, well. But anyway, mood setting. So anyway.
The music's also one of my favorite parts about this
Oh, yeah,
game,
the music's
because
wonderful on
when
this.
this game first came out, right, it did not have the same music.
You know what? I'm kind of glad that this popped up. So...
Oh, yeah, they added like the music later in the game.
Yeah, wasn't always here. It's much nicer than it was when it started out. But anyway, so we're on the roof of the school. You might notice something out of place. Mainly the giant goddamn eyeball in the sky that's staring at you. That's not normal.
The door that wasn't. I thought you were going to talk about the door that's obviously not OSHA regulated.
I think there's a couple of violations here if we were to pick this apart, but this definitely sets up a foreboding, oppressive atmosphere if there's ever a way to do it.
I think this is really fun because this is the first. This is an opportunity where you can try to sneak versus run, and you have to guess which one of the two those attributes would equate to.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't notice this before, but it says we are in the other world currently.
Yep, you can check out your location. There's another fun thing you can kind of do. They fixed it in the tutorial, but sometimes you can click on the calendar to change the date.
Oh yeah, I did that earlier when we were talking, just because.
Yeah.
And it just changes it.
That's why I was like, it's already on June. I thought it was in May initially.
It was. I just clicked on it because I got clicky. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, you noticed that there's
something.
something wrong, and we got these two options, like you said. They kind of look both like Dex options, but I don't think they are.
They're not. I'll tell you, there is a Dex option on the table, but another one requires the other basis of athletics.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Is there a way to toggle that on? I forget if I have that on or not. I'll turn it on in a second.
There's an item
Mm-hmm.
that the idle character gets in her prepare and mystery phase called the Vanity Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And what it will do is it will reveal every trait that the scenario will run on.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that.
It's you know, it's
You can
you have to get
turn on in the options when the roll is made.
to show you the results.
What did you roll? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I run that
remember
on my
being a thing.
stream all the time, just
Mhm.
because I like to know how close it was. Because when you're first playing it, sometimes the scenario seems almost impossible. You lose it every time.
Yeah, I think it's the extra math toggle here. So,
Yeah, extra math.
Yes.
So if you wanted my personal opinion, I'd say run.
why would you say run, Burke?
It's your better attribute of the two.
Okay. Well, we'll try to run then, see what happens.
Both of them aren't. There's no guarantee, even with the better trait that you go
Mhm.
with, that it's gonna work.
Yeah, and also a quick note here, this E103 out of 180, I believe this shows you which encounter you are on out of the pool that you currently have available, correct? All right.
Yeah. And
Okay.
as you beat the game, it will unlock more decks for more events to happen.
Mm-hmm. It kind of works like a deck builder in that way that you collect from, I guess, just encountering things and experiencing lore. Oh god, if Squid ever plays this, she's gonna be in the damn rabbit hole.
Well, I'm happy to guide her.
I know, but she is an absolute lore hound, something fierce. Jesus Christ.
Where's the lore?
Lore, Leon, lore. That's pretty much, it's 16 hours of that, which is wonderful, but it's still hilarious. All right, we're going to try to run. It didn't work.
It happens, but
it didn't work.
yeah, well, your roll was higher than
Yeah, you wanna get a golf score on these events. That's something you're gonna notice. So anyway, was strength score? I guess it was strength versus dexterity, which would make sense. He sees you. You get a curse. You get some experience. Every 100 points, you get another level, but you also get a curse. Curses are debuffs.
They're not always debuffs, or rather, they are in some way, but some curses are really helpful. Actually, and they can help you get out of certain mysteries in a way that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, but that tends to be more the exception than the rule. Most of the time, it's just something that's going to make your life more difficult unless you know how to leverage it, right?
Yeah, there's not really... Curse signs isn't the worst if you're not running a magic build.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And I think we're on our equivalent of Mario for this game, more or less. Our jack-of-all-trades person, yes?
Yeah, I'd call him more the Mario. He's more balanced than other characters. His only downside is his dexterity.
Yeah, you can't have it all, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't recognize some of these things, but maybe they changed some stuff. Okay, so he debuffed us.
They added for the characters like the priest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the cross was before. It's more stuff related to the cross.
Okay, so we're back in our hub for this scenario, which is... It's the homeroom classroom.
You remember that sign your friend put down?
Mm-hmm.
You have to draw it.
So we got a couple of things going on here. I don't think this was here before, but it shows you a prompt of what you have. I think it prompts here because you have the chalk because you went to the roof. That's why we went to the roof, because it told us there was a note we missed. It told us to go to the roof. We went to the roof, got the chalk. The damn eyeball hit us with the curse ray. And we're back here, so we see the symbol on the wall, and we have 1 and 2 here. I'm sure you're going to click on it. You're going to see that this controls the symbol. So you're probably going to be like, oh, I don't remember what the symbol was. So you pull this out. You go back. You reference it. It's a star with a hook, like I remember mentioning. So if you do this correctly, let me see here. There's your hook. There's your star. Triple checking it because that's what you do. That looks pretty close to what it should be, so I'm going to go ahead and pocket this back in storage.
Super fun fact, this game will lie to you a lot.
Yeah, this is not quite Simon Quest 2 levels, but it's in the mix.
Well, sometimes they'll be like, hey, this is the correct thing, and don't listen to it. Double check what your paper says.
Yeah, the thing in this, sometimes you will set out the best laid plans never survive contact with the enemy, and you're fighting an unholy abomination over here, so won't go according to plan sometimes. But yeah, we still need to get the holy candles to complete the ritual. We've been everywhere else. We've done what we can with this, so I guess we're going to start another loop, so we're exploring. Alright, we got another encounter here with a unnerving-looking woman.
Not the substitute teacher.
Yeah, it's a substitute teacher, you know. You always had that one teacher. It's kind of weird, so... And she's talking weird. And she looks weird. She got the jittery eyes. Yeah, I don't know, Burke. I don't know. This one bothers me more than the beating heart, don't you think?
She just seems awkward to me.
Well, you don't necessarily know what to do here. I mean, I think most normal people would probably attempt to help her most of the time.
Like I said, she's awkward.
Yeah.
I hit the hard decline, but you can fuck around.
I mean, I would do it just because it's like, okay, she's a little weird looking. I'm not going to not help a person just because they're that way, so I would do that. It didn't work. So it dinged me again.
This is one of those, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's all luck-based. This one's entirely a luck-based event. Decline's a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you lose that fail check, you then have to help her anyway. Because she'll grab your hand if you don't get away quickly enough.
You get dinged. It's just one of those situations where you're surviving trials and rigors. So, well, it's what it is. And your luck score is not displayed, and there are some ways to control it, but not in this scenario. So, alright. it's
Luck
still...
is always 6 when you're starting out because it works on a 12 system.
Yeah, I guess
And
that
your
would
luck
make
is always
sense.
middle of the road.
Can you go past 12?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can. It's really silly. The characters I do it most frequently with would be like Mimi, Photography Boy, and occasionally you can get away with like 13 strength with I always think it's Haru is his actual name, the Yakuza driver.
Now, I don't know if this is accurate, but I've kind of found that pumping dexterity tends to be your best bet if you don't know where to put your attribute somewhere else, or if you're not pumping a specific attribute. Would you agree with that?
Because you could go into dodge build, yeah.
Well, I mean, you attack faster, you're more accurate, you're able to dodge better. It works with a plurality of weapons, if not a majority of weapons, knives mostly. Because that's basically what you're going to find. You're going to find clubs, you're going to find knives as your weapons most of the time. But knives are pretty common.
Yeah, there is weapons that operate on knowledge and perception as well. For example, the straight razor is a perception-based weapon.
This didn't used to be the case, but we do have a perception weapon, and our key attribute for this guy is perception, so it's a key fit for this character. It works very well.
All guns work on perception. That's the big thing.
Yeah, but
With
guns
the
also give you a
exception of
debuff.
Yeah, well, actually, I did there is one gun that operates on strength, and that's specifically tied to Haru. That's an event-specific one.
Didn't know. You learn something new every day.
Well, it like I said, I'm an encyclopedia on this game.
Perfectly understandable. Okay, so...
Except for my mistake with Mimi. I'll own up to that one.
All right.
I double-checked it.
So we don't have another option other than to start another loop, so we'll do that.
That's
Oh,
the problem when you play 160 hours in this game.
all right, we're back on this again.
Aw, I hate... This is something that also drives me nuts. You see it more often in base game.
Mm-hmm.
When you're first playing the game, you'll get double events.
Yep.
It's always like some double event that's really bad.
Yep, and so it's the same thing here. You're looking at the weird doll person again and getting spooked. Okay, so we have found the candles.
You know, I'm impressed you didn't have a combat encounter in your first
Yeah, I was
run.
expecting a combat encounter. That didn't happen, so I guess we're just going to be fighting the boss, which that's fine. So we're doing the ritual. And the boss is here. She's very here. And she's at least 7 feet tall.
And the famous words of the internet. Whoa,
Tall lady. All right. So, gives you the description of the boss, and judging from the fact that she's not a fractured mess of, well, whatever the hell it would be, she's a little safer to deal with than she would be otherwise. So we're going to start our combat encounter.
This is my favorite part of the game.
Yep, it gives you right here where it tells you how the combat works. So, you get an attack bar. You have a... How would I describe it? You have an action bar where certain skills work at certain speeds, and you can't go over what you have. And you take your turn, then they take their turn.
Call it a time management system. You only can do so much per turn.
I think it's going to force
So,
me to do this here, which is not great. But
I actually prefer that they did it this way, because when I first played it, it was like, good luck, kid.
yeah. I kind of like it that way personally, but that's my preference. Anyway, punch. I guess it's going to make me punch across the bar, so we'll do that. Yeah, punch is your basic attack. It's fairly quick. It doesn't do a lot of damage.
It's also very accurate.
Also true. So, we're
Its
going to
base
kick her
blade
3
is
times.
80%.
Yeah, that is 80%, huh? It's pretty accurate. And it tells you the T over there. It shows you how much time in your time bar it's going to take. I think the time bar is 200, which you can see. So you can't go over that. You can reduce it with improved skills, but you can't go over it. So we're going to do a flurry of punches. So I think we hit her 3 times, which is good. You'll see up here her health, her damage. You'll see the general power. You'll have a harder time hitting them as their power increases, which that makes sense. Now, it's asking me to find an improvised weapon, which I guess that's fair. We already have weapons, but you don't always have weapons. It don't normally start with the boss, so we'll go over here. Yeah, like, well, let's see. It tells you what you have here. You have offensive actions, straightforward. Support actions, in this case, is going to be getting an improvised weapon. So we'll collect an improvised
assess
weapon.
the enemy.
Oh, yeah, we got this, too, which is also important. Let's see, is it going to let me do that?
Assess the enemy is really useful for opening runs if you have the time for it.
It'll tell you, any lore, it'll tell you their weaknesses, too, as well, which is pretty damn useful, actually.
Yeah, weapon type weakness wasn't an original game feature, but it's a very nice weapon upgrade as well. I really enjoyed it because suddenly it goes from a boss fight. You're like, I can't win this in 2 turns to I can absolutely win this in 2 turns if I have the right weapon for the job.
And you have a couple of things here. It's the lore button. You have ally assist. I don't know what this one is. You have.
So the action is distract the enemy. So if it's like a boss fight that you know is going to be a longer one and you're okay with the potentially losing an ally, you can send an ally out on the first turn to make the rest of the fight a lot easier time-wise. All your actions become a little quicker. I think it's like 10% or something. It's really helpful.
It's not bad. You can also trade experience for accuracy, which you'll have to do from time to time when you get a desperation attack.
I have never used that feature in my 160 hours of playing the game.
Oh, you just don't care for it? I've used it sometimes. It gets you out of a pinch.
You know, it's one of those. I'm stubborn about my EXP because, you know, when you level up, you have the option of giving yourself health too. So sometimes it's like I'm not giving up that potential health boost when I need it.
Well, it's not my first choice, I'll tell you that much. And you can always just get a compass, too, to take care of this problem real quick. Another busted item.
You don't get those luxuries.
But yeah, if you find a compass, pick up the compass. Earlier is better, but even late, it's still pretty good. So, we're punching. Well, actually, we're grabbing an improvised item over here, which is a busted up
It'd
bottle.
probably be a broken bottle.
Yep, it's worse than what we got. It's no straight razor. That's for damn sure.
But they want you to equip it.
Yep, so we're going to have to equip it. So we're equipping it.
Good thing is it has a fast equip, so...
All improvised weapons are fast equipped. Makes sense, right?
There is another feature that I don't know if the game talks about it, because it took me about 5 playthroughs to realize it's a valid option. Is if you have a weapon that you don't particularly care for, or you're running low on inventory space or health, you could just chuck one of those weapons at them for some damage, and it costs nothing on the timescale.
Yep, it has this weapon over here. You can't do it with an improvised weapon, but I think like with... Oh, it's not going to let me do it.
No, you can do it. It's not going to let you do it right now. You're still stuck in the tutorial.
Yeah, I guess we'll keep wrapping this up. But anyway, from that eye skill, it'll tell you a couple different things, give you a basic description, the type of enemy, what it's weak against, which actually that's quite a bit of information for just being a kid, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's an Eldritch Demon. It'll give you a little bit of exposition on what it is. Like we mentioned before, it's a Japanese urban legend. And it's been manifest because of the Dark God's influence. So we got that on the table. You can close it if you like.
It got memed into reality by God.
It's been memed into reality. So, alright. I think it's going to want me to attack, or do I have freeform here?
It's not letting you throw items yet, so it's wanting you to do something still.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and swing, I guess. Let's see. Oh, it's opened up a couple of options here. So you have your fist again. You have your standard attack. You have your heavy attack. Heavy attack hits harder. You have
it's
shoot
never
firearm.
Worth it, though. It's only worth it with two-handed weapons, or if you have the extra time to spare and you couldn't get a second hit in, then you go for heavy, but it's typically better just to do combo hits.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. And you can modify this by either making it so your attack is guaranteed or slightly increasing your chance if you want to get a little fancy.
This is where it gets into XCOM levels of stress.
So let's see, 50% chance to hit, that's not great.
I've only been swinging a couple times.
Yeah, let's see how many we can get in. Twice. That's not great. I guess we'll do a guaranteed hit and a swing. That's probably our best bet.
I think you'll be able to grab one extra boost before you do that.
Oh yeah, you get a teeny tiny boost. So that's 200. We're squared off perfect. So let's see. First one's gonna hit. Second one misses.
I mean, it's all about taking the best possible chance.
Try
Try throwing one of the items if it'll let you, though.
Let's
It might not let you
Nope,
because
it's not
throwing
gonna let
items
me do it.
throwing items is pretty busted. To be honest, it's basically free damage.
Yeah, but still, it's nice to be able to do it, so I guess we'll do the same thing again. Hope for the best.
You can also try blocking. You have a high strength.
Yeah, it doesn't go over the other stuff. So you've opened up defensive actions and spiritual actions. Defensive actions, well, you avoid damage. Pretty straightforward. You can run. You can shift. Let's see, what's this one?
That one is an interesting one. I only used it twice.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Meditate. It'll convert stamina, or it'll convert reason to stamina. And I know there's another one that does the reverse, where it converts stamina to reason. I guess that's just a button that does nothing. You have block over here, which may reduce damage by half. It's based on strength. You also have evade.
So brace for impact is a guaranteed. So here's the big thing. Blocking is always guaranteed, but blocking is based on your strength of how long it takes to block it.
Ah, that makes
sense. If you
sense.
have really high strength, like let's say 10, blocking only costs like 80 of your time.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So it's just like, well, why wouldn't you block every turn then if you can still do damage until you can get the final hit? Dodge is always probability based.
Yeah, does it tell you what the chance is? I guess it doesn't.
It's based on your dexterity. It's rolling the d12 against you.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, I guess we'll pop open spiritual actions real quick. Let's see. Oh, the clap and bow system. We gonna go over that real quick?
Clap and bow. I said the mastermind earlier. It's a 5 sequence between clapping and bowing, and sometimes they can straight up just be 5 claps or 5 bows.
I can never get this damn thing to work.
It's kind of more of a meme. There are ways to guarantee a better result. There's a character, if you explore the school, there's a kid that hangs out on the roof muttering to herself. She will tell you the first 2 signs that you'd have to know for the sequence.
Well, I didn't know that either. Yes, you learn something every day. Alright. I guess it's time we should try and finish this.
It's a guaranteed 40%, and then dexterity is high enough you can stack it.
What's that?
Oh, I'm reading Giga's response here. I don't fully know how the dodge system works myself. I just know it's pretty reliable once you have 9 dexterity. It's very reliable.
Well, we don't got that right now. We got a broken bottle, and we're gonna stab somebody with it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get stabbing.
Remember, kicking is also a valid way to you can get it there and then boost your kick.
You think
They
I
have
should
5 health.
Yeah, you're right.
I would go. It's about the same time, but you only need you need the dagger to hit, but the broken bottle to hit once, and you can upgrade your kick twice to make it a guaranteed hit if it's at 80%.
Yeah, that is true, huh?
This is where the experience is coming in, where like I have combat sequences locked in.
Well, even I'm not optimized, obviously, so let's see if we can clear it out. She dead. We got through the tutorial, Burke. How about that?
Yeah. So Giga, that's something I was talking about for the spiritual is the fastest way to do it is to do one system, either clapping or bowing, and it'll tell you how many you got right, and then from there it's an order of operations. There's a whole sequence chart for this that someone made. I just happen to play a lot of Mastermind, so...
Makes sense. So anyway, we've completed the tutorial mystery. It gives you a short epilogue about what happens. This is the A ending since we succeeded. I think if you die, you just die. There's not much to that.
There's a couple endings. I think there's 4 different endings for this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
In this particular ending, you've defeated the woman. You did everything correctly. You survived the combat encounter. You debuffed her. So you survived this encounter. And that's the basic tutorial. So it closes you out and the loop starts up again. So, moving right down the list here. Boop. Yeah, you can control your bit on this, which is pretty cool. Well, we're sticking with Neon Slide. Oh yeah, I think this is the one you use. Am I right? Might be. It's a good one.
It's a good one, but hold on. Maybe it's not on my stream yet. Because I'm watching your stream. No, that's not the one. I use the yellow one.
Whoa! All the colors. Might be this one. Yeah, it's this one. Use this one.
I am a big fan of that one.
Mm-hmm. It's probably got the most color depth of all the options. So we'll use this for right now. Oh, it's definitely brighter. It's much easier to read everything. Oh, my eyes! Anyway,
You know what? Yeah, I swear it was yellow, but on stream it's looking green to me.
It's looking green. All right. I don't know. Is there much of a difference between quick play and extracurricular activity?
Yes, extracurricular. It defaults you to easy mode, and you only have to beat 4 mysteries.
No, that's not too bad.
You also get to play Aiko, which is probably the best combat-focused character. You can argue in the comments if you want.
Well, why is that? Why is that, Burke?
Aiko starts with the fastest combat speed in the game, and she's dex build. So even if you got stuck with the steak knife, which is one of the most commonly easy found items, you can hit an enemy like for 24 damage because you can go into blade mode essentially with her.
You do blade mode.
You can essentially go blade mode with her, and her level up perks increase her speed even more.
Well, there you go. That means you can dodge and you can stab. You can stab a lot. She's basically your rogue of the game, more or less. That be accurate?
Kind of. I'd argue your rogue is a character that's pretty hard to unlock, but yeah.
Well, your standard 4 characters generally mirror, warrior, rogue, mage, cleric most of the time, most games, because those are the archetypes.
Caster.
I mean, your cleric deals better with logistics. I call it cleric, priest, whatever you want to call it. But
priest
yeah.
is hard in this game. Priest is hella hard.
So anyway, we'll do extracurricular activity because it gives you a quick play with favoring you. So we'll do that. And we're using your color scheme this time.
Get that beautiful opening.
It's... Damn, wouldn't this be a spooky place to go to? I mean, it almost looks like a backwater.
I also like games that are always set in like the late 80s, early 90s tech-wise. It's the era where you could get away with weird stuff.
Yeah.
If I want to complain about horror, what was that movie, Unfriended? The one where it's a bunch of people in a Skype call or something? Or a team meet, Microsoft team meet, and it's like, oh, someone's killing us in the team meet through the computer. You're like, what? This era, I'm like, it's a cursed VHS. It's a cursed VHS. Okay, I can accept that. I don't know. It's just a different level, you know?
Yeah, that's the whole thing with the Ring, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm willing to accept more goofy tech, spooky shenanigans with more analog technology, I guess.
Oh, we got, what is this guy called again? I'm trying to remember his name.
I just call him Alexandria.
Yeah, I was going to call it Alexander. So, all right. It's the flame god.
My least favorite god of the 4 initial gods. Because Entropy is brutal.
Well, if you can kill him in round 1, it's not too bad. And with this character, you can often do that.
Yeah, I would say it is beneficial for Aiko, because you can hit so many times a turn, that +1 damage per hit. That stacks up to like 6 extra damage when you're first hitting, you know?
Hey, was the cloud always moving like that before? Is that new?
Depends.
Well, relative to most days, this is a pretty nice day as far as World of Horror goes. So, we got a couple of more options here. We have a ally list and perks, which when you get allies or perks, they'll be here. You got your town status. It tells you what's going on in the town. Your town will get a debuff for every mystery you complete. I guess this just tells you a little bit about what's going on here. There's your level up. There's your full log.
It tells you what your background story is and what's going on in the follow log, which is what events happened in case you missed anything.
Here's your old god.
Ithato. Ithato?
Looks like it.
Ithotu. The spell.
Yep.
The spell that Ithato's Flame is pretty good. It's the best combat spell in the game. In the early game. I'd argue there's a couple better ones now, but...
Well, things change over time. So anyway...
It's a very reliable piece.
Alright, so we're going to go to our home base. Oh, wait, no, we're going to randomize, it looks like, first. You don't always get this, I don't think. I think this is something I've
You
gotten
don't
over
have
time.
a lot of the options right here. So occult shop and vending machine don't exist when you play.
Mhm.
Check out your school too.
Let's see. School? Let me do
Yeah,
home.
that's cool.
Yeah, these are new, too. Prepare was something they added new that gives you, I guess, a unique item that's better than average.
It's depending. Some are better than others. For example, the Necromancer,
Mhm.
the Necronomicon guy, his item Bookstrap makes him incredibly busted. And then there's other ones like Cigarette Case for Haru, where it has a 15% chance of not using a cigarette every time you do a mystery.
It's a pretty
So
low
kind of-
percentage.
But you know that extra cigarette can be the difference between a life or death run. So
Well, every
I
little
just
bit
think
helps,
that-
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Want some H2O, excuse me.
Ico's got a really busted equipment piece too.
I don't know what it is. I guess we'll find out. But anyway, you can always rest at your home. You can get your trinket. You got your shop with the dog. That's your basic general seller. It's nice when you have it. Police station. I think you can lower the threat of areas, make mobs weaker. You can exchange XP for gold. Good if you need gold. You got your
The-
occult shop too, which I don't know how that one works 100%.
Occult shop is more stuff like if you want a ritual dagger, holy candles, stuff like that. Glass eye. A lot of really solid items, but they usually come at a little more of an expensive cost.
They're expensive specialty items that lean towards spell casting, I think. Kind of like a mage shop.
Sometimes, but also more knowledge or perception-based weapons is what I would call it.
All right.
The dog typically sells like the only weapon the dog really sells is the steak knife, which is why I'm saying Aiko really excels because she does well. But then there's the hardware store at the seaside,
Mm-hmm.
where you get your strength weapons.
Yeah, I think the vending machine gives you general mild healing and buff items most of the time.
So the big trade-off for the vending machine is that it costs less doom to go to the vending machine,
Mm-hmm.
at the cost of the items being more expensive too.
Well, there you
They
go.
they always cost one more than it would at the store. So an item that costs one will cost two, something that costs two is three, so forth and so forth.
All right, going to the school. We got a couple of things here. We got the library. Now, the library's fancy.
It's where you get your spells.
Mm-hmm. You can gain a little bit of XP, or you can learn your spells, and the right spell is pretty good, let me tell you.
I mean, Book of Gore will single-handedly break a game.
Yeah, that's just an example right there. Schoolyard. You can recruit allies or get gossip. It helps a little bit sometimes, I guess. It's not great.
It helps on certain mysteries. School Nurse is something you will unlock eventually when you beat. So all these items in these locations open up as you play the game. So beating the game, that's an achievement. Losing the game, that's also an achievement.
Mm-hmm. Very roguelike in that way.
And you can check the achievements to help you out. But as you get the achievements, you'll get these other locations that can help you treat or tailor your play style to help you win.
Okay, just giving you a heads up, Burke. We're at 11, just so you
I'm
know
aware.
the time. Okay.
I'm aware. I got about 30 more minutes in me.
All right, all right. That's good as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, moving on to the hospital. You go to the hospital when you get banged up, obviously. Doctor can cure any normal injury for a price. It's gotten more reasonable in some of the more recent patches.
They still haven't fixed a major glitch that irks me, but...
Well, they'll probably get around to it. What is it?
So, certain allies will give you the option to have cheaper surgery or pharmaceutical items, and that never works.
That's unfortunate.
It's because,
Hey,
yo,
Biscuit.
Biscuit, how you doing?
Oh,
But yeah, it's the only thing where, like, there's a couple things this game needs to fix up too, and we're supposed to be getting the console release, I think.
it's coming
sometime
later
in
this
summer.
year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's guaranteed this summer, is what we're told.
I mean, it's
So,
close enough for a release. We're going to get a version 1 coming pretty soon. Alright. What is that,
I really
Biscuit?
hope I hope this game sells well.
It'll probably sell well. It's pretty unique. I mean, Loop Hero sold well. Darkest Dungeon sold well.
I can try to help arrange that.
Oh
I've-
boy,
I've-
you're gonna get me in the room with him, Burke. Some stuff's gonna happen.
I've had interactions with the individual, not very long, meaningful ones, but I have at one point been like, "Hey, I like your thing," and they went, "Thanks." I'm not deep, but I can try.
Get him in here. I get to harass him why Nemesis isn't in the game.
I'm sure that'll be a mod at some point.
All right. Anyway, pharmacy. Well, you get healing goods. You probably get your best healing goods from the pharmacy, but they're expensive. Pretty much the long and short of that one.
You also get items like scalpel, and
It's a mild
Yeah,
weapon.
I argue it's one of the better weapons. But
We've already done that, Biscuit. Oh, moving on to Seaside. We got the hardware shop. It's Home Depot, more or less. You're probably going to get your best weapons here, especially if you're got a strength build. Not as much for Dex, but see what you do.
legal den occurs later just by playing the game enough.
Mm-hmm. You get
And
some pretty good allies there, though, too, as well as illegal
That's-
goods.
That's the newest thing they added to the game. A legal den was originally just to buy guns or find something when the store closed that you needed to get.
Mm-hmm.
The getting the extra allies is the newest patch they added,
That makes sense.
and
And
they're pretty helpful. At the cost of 5 Doom, you get some pretty reliable allies.
Yeah, you get some. They're pretty substantial. I don't know what the X's and the blanked out are. I don't know if this is one that's going to unlock later. But anyway, moving on.
No, X is like the open spot because, like, you know how like down has 4 slots.
Mm-hmm.
They're just opening it for mod locations. Because I know the most recent patch also was encouraging heavy modding.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the guy's like, look, I've been working on this game for like 5 years. Don't at me anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Totally understandable.
If you want to add something to the game, please just do it yourself.
At
And I
five,
respect that.
5 years is a long time. Okay, moving on to Forest. Witch's Tree. I'm not sure how often I've encountered this.
Witch's Tree is something you use kind of as a last resort, or if you know you need to make a big move
Mm-hmm.
and you need extra resources. Witch's Tree will get you strength, it'll add you 2 health, a spell, or 2 money at the cost of a curse.
Oh, well, that is kind of a desperate move. Let's see. What do we got under mansion? Nothing. Village? Nothing. Apartment? Oh, neighbor. You can't really do
Neighbors-
anything with that.
You can. I wouldn't fuck with it. It enables a mystery chance, which is really good. Because Kana is the best ally in the game by far, besides stat boosting ones.
Is that
They
a
have
mystery
the-
I haven't encountered yet, or?
You've done eels before, right?
Oh, yeah, it just makes you do eels.
It unlocks the eels mystery, yeah.
Oh, well, that's not so bad then. Alright. Well, I guess I'll start with the stock here because this is what you'll have most of the time when you start. So, we'll go with that. So, we're continuing.
It's kind of underutilized, but the save load feature they added is really nice. It just if you hit load, it'll load in your previous layout, so
Oh,
you don't have to tinker with it every time.
That's pretty cool. So, you got your mailbox and it's moving. That ain't
Yeah,
normal.
this is good on YouTube. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yes, it's going on YouTube. It'll probably be a little more polished up too.
Yeah, I'll take care of a lot of this stuff in editing. I've gotten good enough at that where we don't have to worry about those things. Alright, so continuing on. So we are in our home for the first time. Ooh, that painting is new, it looks like. Maybe I'm wrong.
You can check it out.
Yeah. Don't do nothing. It's not clickable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may do something,
The book is not selectable.
huh? Alright, so let's see. What's this do? Light switch. It don't work!
For now.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got. We can move the shutters. Hey, look, it's the town. We can open our drawer, which will have a chance of giving us a helpful item. In this instance, it has done empty bottle, which is your generic item, which is good.
Empty bottle's actually pretty good across the board. It's a good throwable. It also you can fill it with water, or sometimes there's other events where you can fill it. That makes it a better improvised weapon. So having an empty bottle on hand is pretty useful.
It's one of the... I'm not going to say it's the most versatile item, but it's up there in what you can do with it.
It's a solid way to So before you set out anywhere, I recommend taking a shower.
And taking a shower is the second option here. It's the bathtub with the shower head. So we're going to there. All right, Biscuit, enjoy your lurk. All right, clicking on that. So we're taking a shower. We're not going to randomly click yet. We're going to read things. So, going left to right, top to down, we have cold water, which will restore reason. We have warm water, which will give you XP. I believe it's 5.
Yeah.
We have hot water, which will recover stamina, and we have fill an empty bottle with water. So we'll go ahead and examine our water bottle. We'll look at our description here. You can fill the bottle with something. Very helpful. You have a couple more options here. You can send it to storage. You can discard it, or you can sell it for 1 gold.
Oh my god, I forgot how good Skeptic was. They start you with 6 funds.
Not so bad, huh?
Oh my god.
Oh, to have the luxury. So, what you want to do in this situation, you want to fill your bottle first. You got a bottle of water. What does that do? When you use it, it'll give you stamina, and you can keep refilling this once between missions. Pretty useful, huh?
You get an extra health, basically, is the way I always thought of it. Because showers, when you go into the shower, it will naturally give you 1 health on both stamina and reason. And then you can choose to add 1 more to whatever attribute you would like. Or you get the little extra EXP, because let's say you beat a mission and you were like, you have 97 EXP. Well, you can give yourself that 5 EXP to level up before the mission.
Extra level can make a big difference.
So I always do experience on my first one, just because you're not hurt yet.
I mean, we don't have damage reason. We don't have damage health. I don't know if you can tell what your max is on this, can you?
You start at max.
Yeah, but is there a way to tell? I forget.
It's 21 on Skeptic.
Okay, so we're going to get the XP boost here, which is up here, gives us 5 XP. When we reach 100, as is over here, you level up. We're not there yet. So anyway, we'll check a few other things. We got this watch TV over here where you can watch TV. Surprise, right?
There's also a phone that's interactable.
Press the buttons on it.
And if you know your J-pop pretty well, you might know how to call Junko.
See, is there a way to cancel?
No, you just restart it.
Alright.
But there's an achievement if you know how to call Junko.
What's Junko's number?
Do you know the song Awoo?
No.
Oh god. So, Awoo, is it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? I gotta double check it.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. Execute? Nope. Which one? How do I phone? Guess not.
56709.
Thank you. Thank you for the correction.
Hang on.
That's one I don't remember.
Also, I gonna be AFK. I gonna go shopping for set.
Oh, do your thing. Do your thing.
Achievement
I'll be back
unlocked.
later.
Alright, see ya.
Yeah,
Okie
but
dokie.
if you know your city pop, 865409 doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Alright. But yeah, I guess you get a little more atmosphere and you get some exposition. Let me see who that was talking. That was Tathor. Yep. So he's in the Discord kicking around. Alright. Local
Well, you know one thing.
Good.
You know one thing when you fight monsters, you gotta look fly as hell.
Yeah, we're getting to that. But I guess there's nothing we can really do here other than just looking at the news occasionally, right?
Yeah, there is one incident that actually is helpful. The rest of them build lore. One of them, I want them to add the VHS. That's relevant later.
Can you even do anything here? I don't think so.
Not right now, no. Besides that one phone call, there is one event on the TV that if you watched it enough times and you had the perk Outdoorsman, you have a chance of unlocking the Shotgun Girl.
Yeah, but we can't do that right now, or at least we shouldn't be able to.
You actually are able to do it from the get-go, but yeah.
All right, time to change our clothes. So we are in the changing room here. You got a couple of options going on. I guess you can click on the mirror, huh?
because it'll say looking good.
Fair enough. We got a poster. Nice movie poster. Okay. And we can click on this over here. What is this exactly? Is this a trophy?
It was a figurine.
Figurine. Okay, so we can open that up and we'll get more funds from it. A little another attaboy for people starting out.
It's especially useful when you play on hard mode where you don't have any money to start with.
Mm-hmm. It's a deal breaker when the resources are that thin. So we got a couple outfits here. Captain outfit, which you start with. Gym clothes. You got Shakalin? I guess that's some type of overcoat. Teacher's pet. That's schoolgirl, alright. Vanity jacket. Alright. You partial?
Vanity jacket
I
myself.
was about to say vanity jacket looks the most classy out of your choices. So we'll go with that. So, and it does change your character, which is nice, being able to customize them. Let's see what else we got. Remember that storage we had earlier from the school? You got that here too. It's in your house. Straight up.
You look outside your apartment, nothing weird happens when you look out the door.
Can you look out the door? I guess not in this, huh?
You can. It's the middle option on the left.
Oh, yeah. Middle option on the left. Oh, yeah, you can take a peek through the peephole. And you got a creepy neighbor.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't worry about it.
You see, he's not always there. He's there sometimes there, though.
Don't be mean to the Cyclops.
Oh, my God. So is it going to let me save? It doesn't let me save here. You have custom mystery branches, which we have some of these loaded, but we're not going to worry about these right now. We get to them later. Something to look forward to.
I like that King in the Yellow reference one, though.
Oh, yeah, huh?
The yellow U.
Yep. I got a pretty good set of mysteries, you got to say, relative to what we normally find, huh?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
You did the deep dive. I haven't done the deep dive yet.
Well, we'll get a chance to get to this, and we'll go over all of them, just like we're going to go over all these mysteries as we do, you know? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go to our mystery board. This is where you're going to select your scenarios on how to move forward. You know, it's just like the all-connected meme, but with Cthulhu. Alright, so we got a couple of options here. Let's look over. Alright, these black post-its are the custom mysteries that I have loaded. You will not encounter that in your base game. But they are here in mine because it is loaded on this system. So, is what it is. You do have the option to re-roll the mysteries. I don't know if there's a limit on this. Is there, Burke?
No, there's no limit. The main reason reroll mysteries is there is usually it's just for achievement hunting because some mysteries like you need like you'll need an item from one mystery to do another mystery perfectly. You can't get every mystery done perfect every time, and so that lets you reroll it if you're going for the achievement hunting for that.
And that works pretty good for that. So let's see. I think we only get 4 for quick play, which isn't too bad. So we got Rotten Report of a Rancid Ramen. We got Curious Case of Contagious Coma. Write-Up of a Wordless Ward. And we got Macabre Memoir of Morbid Mermaids.
You got 3 boss fights and 1 item heavy mystery.
Well,
Pretty.
that's what it is.
I would personally start with the mermaid.
You would
That's
start
just
with
me.
the mermaid, huh? I would start with Noodles.
Do what you want. I'm not here to tell you how to do your run.
Well, you know what? I do my run all the time. I want to see your logic on this. So we'll start with the mermaids. Alright, here we go. So, we got a janitor here that's obsessed with mermaids. He's collect a whole bunch of memorabilia about it. He's a janitor at a school. And he started kidnapping people. Probably going to turn them into mermaids. I'm pretty sure this isn't a Japanese myth. I think this is just straight up weird, creepy, and crazy. Yeah, that's about what I thought. So, we'll go ahead and initiate the Investigate Mystery. You're going to notice a couple of differences. Interface is different. You have a number of areas you can go over. And you have sub-areas that you can go over. So, it's going to give you the exposition of what's going on in the upper left. In this case, it says people are going missing. It gives you your personal thoughts on the upper right. it gives you what actual mechanical objectives you need to accomplish to get the bonus on the far right of the screen. In this case, we need to investigate Seaside twice. It'll tell you your current location, which is your home, obviously. That's where you start. You can cycle. It'll also tell you your threat level. Higher is bad. Makes it harder to complete your objectives. Also makes the enemies more dangerous. So you have your home, which you can prepare and rest at. It's exactly what you think it is. You have your apartments, police station, general store. Apartments, that's got your neighbor. Schoolyard, we've gone over all this, but these are the different areas with different incidentals. Thoughts upper right considered as hints. I mean, they can be hints, but they're cryptic if they are. At least that would be my opinion. I mean, it'll get...
Right.
I think he's
It
talking
just tells
about
you to
this.
go.
Yeah, should investigate downtown. But it'll also give you a circle as to where you're supposed to go with this.
If you call hints railroading, yes.
Fair enough.
It's just flavor text to let you know like what your thought process is and where the character is going.
It's enough to give you a direction to get you moving without it being total blind guesses is what I think it is, which I think that's appropriate for what it should be. I guess in this instance, would you recommend doing the bonus perk?
Do the bonus.
Alright, so we're going to investigate Seaside twice.
You also don't have to do a fifth mystery.
Mhm.
Doing the bonuses always guarantees, with the exception of 1 or 2 mysteries, an A rank.
Yeah, and I'm also not going to shop Sandbag in this because that's a little more advanced and it kind of stalls progression, so we're just going to run into it. So we're investigating
Recommend going to
Seaside.
the store. I
Mhm.
recommend going to the store at least once.
Okay. So we'll go to the store real quick. And we'll go to visit our neighborhood-friendly Doog over here, and you can get an achievement for booping him on the nose. He's a happy
So-
doggo.
I would at least, at minimum, get the steak knife. You're going to be in for a pretty big fight.
Oh yeah, because we're on mermaids, huh? Because we're doing it
Yeah.
your way. Alright, so I'm going to grab the knife. You want a weapon. It's a bad thing not to have a weapon in this game because it's a dangerous world out there. Okay, so we're going to investigate Seaside one more time so we can complete the bonus.
Routing of the event will take you to those areas too. Oh, here's a fun one.
Oh, we got crabs eating a corpse. Charming.
I'd investigate the body.
So we can search the body or escape. I'm assuming one is probably perception and one is probably dex. So I would also agree with searching the body. And we succeeded on that. It's a dexterity check, so that was the right thing to do. We did gain some
Escape-
XP, though.
So this is one of, like, because I've done every scenario so often, or at least most of them enough to know what they do. Escape is a guaranteed low punishment, and search the body is a higher punishment but higher reward.
Mm-hmm.
You'll take 2 damage instead of 1, basically, at the chance of getting EXP.
Well, that's not too bad. But I guess just basically a low-level encounter here. A low-level environmental encounter. So, alright, worked out in our favor, so moving on. You get the little Jason chip tune from the NES, and we've completed our bonus objective, so we're gonna get a little bit of extra at the end of this mystery. How does that work, Burke?
What, the mysteries?
Well, when you complete the bonus objective as opposed to just flying through it, what's it mechanically do? It just gives you a little more doom reduction, a little more XP?
Depending on it, yes. Sometimes they'll give you an item as well that's necessary to complete the mystery correctly.
And I guess you get a little more of an encounter there, and you get a little more bit of lore for your time. So, we'll actually move down the chain properly here. So, we're going to explore downtown.
Yeah, there's another mystery that wasn't on the list, so I'll give it away. The alarming arm mystery, the one where it's mostly apartment. If you don't do the environment, you don't get the tiny key item, which is useful for a couple different bigger mysteries.
Oh, it does work on more than one other than just the locker, huh?
Yeah, it works on locker. It works on. It's funny, they're mostly in school stuff, but yeah, it's how you also get the goblet, which helps you unlock the priest.
Oh, that does make sense. So, alright, we got a kid wandering around. What's your take on this encounter?
I just take them home.
Fair enough. Well, you get XP for a little bit of damage. Fair enough.
So this is one of those scenarios you're going to get punished no matter what you do. It's just, again, one of those, are you going to pay 1 health and just walk away? Or are you going to pay 2 health but get some EXP?
Well, it's always nice to do something good when you can, too. Especially in a dark, disparate world like this one. Alright.
Kid
And-
totally gets murked if you don't help her, though.
Oh, man. That's terrible. But yeah, it'll update what's going on here in your journal. Give you a little bit of lore, a little bit of atmosphere. So, girls keep disappearing. I guess a janitor's kidnapping them. So we'll go to the school to
It's all from the
investigate.
same school.
Kind of unusual. Alright, this one has always been a weird one to me.
There's only one bad option.
I mean, I think what I do in most of these scenarios is I think I pick up the book and burn it most of the time to get a doom reduction, but that's probably not the only thing you can do here.
So you can light the candles, and you're in low risk scenario. You can do it. You get some EXP for it. Picking up the book gives you a random chance of a couple different books, from Occult Diary, which is the one you burn for doom reduction, library books, which gets you free spells, well, not free, at the cost of reason, and then Fatal Flora or Fatal Fauna for damage against plants. And then Study the Writing on the Blackboard is a knowledge check to get a spell.
So we're gonna light the candles then?
Yeah, fuck it. Go on. See what happens.
Whoa, that's kind of a wild outcome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, but that's also a healthy amount of XP, so that's probably a net positive in this situation.
Depending on how you handle the rest of it, yeah.
Alright, let's
But
see.
it's also just, it's when you're first playing this game, understand you're going to lose.
Yeah,
You're going to lose quite a bit.
you're gonna die a lot.
So check out your options and, like, see what they all do, because sometimes, well, I do have a healthy supply of reason, or I have a build that lets me regain a lot of a resource I know, but it's hard to get EXP. Or there's certain characters that they need less EXP to level up. So if you're willing to burn your health early game to get that extra level up, why not do it?
And you gotta evaluate, what you need, what you don't have, what you're willing to sacrifice, what you have in excess of to trade in, essentially. It's resource management, survival horror, essentially.
That's what I always think of survival horror. It's just a really good resource management situation.
Alright, so progressing right on the thing. The girls were on the swimming team. Yep, that kind of fits. So, more school investigation. Oh, speaking of which, guess what we got?
Oh, you finally got the spell?
Sudden blast of heat grabs your attention. An older man standing next to you screams in pain as he is engulfed in fire from nowhere. People start to panic and help the burn victim, and you notice a hooded woman running off in the distance. Supernatural attack. Failure. God damn it, no spell for me, huh?
I mean, it's also, that was max roll against you.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Because
That
it's
was
rolled
the-
out of 12, right?
Yeah, it's on a D12, and then if the area has a threat level modifier, that's that +0 factor.
Mm-hmm.
The more dangerous the location is, the higher that modifier against you will be.
Well, we would have gotten a good spell if it worked out in our favor, but in this instance, we just watched a person spontaneously combust.
And then you feel bad about it.
Yeah, you generally feel bad about it when people explode.
Not me, I'm built wrong.
Yep. So alright, we find a notebook. Talking about the swimming club and mermaids, not concerning at all.
Go check out the mermaid.
Yeah, we're gonna investigate the morbid school. Oh, that's not creepy. And I think this is a mission-specific event where you have fish heads on hooks. Pretty much just a creepy event that's unnerving, more or less. Yep. Where's
It's
this
also a
person?
guaranteed hit on you.
Can't get around that, so we'll resolve that and continue on. Okay, I think we are technically at home, I guess. Alright. Person's mermaid obsessed. We kind of know that. Plan of the town sewer system. Didn't know that. So, I guess we're going in the sewer system.
As you do.
And we got lost. This is the labyrinth encounter. Don't have a map, so you just take a doom ding. Alright. Yeah, this doesn't really explain anything, but that's just general weirdness. Moving through the sewer system. Every RPG's got to have a sewer level. Oh, I really wish I had a flashlight.
Should have store bought.
Yep. Well, we're gonna bumble around, it looks like.
You might get lucky.
Hey! They skipped town. Wisely so. A little bit of XP.
When you have the flashlight, it's just, I think, a guaranteed item.
Mm-hmm. So the person's got a map of the school basement connected to the sewer system. That's not weird. Oh, what is this? Oh, yeah. This is examining the newspaper clippings. I tend to do this when I can. Because XP is always a good thing if you can get it, right?
Yeah. It's one of those, you're not in a situation where you're set up for automatic failure like certain
Boom.
backstories will.
Man, that
So-
sucks.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's also a Doom cost one, but you also have 4 mysteries, so you'll be fine. It's more when you're on Harbinger of Doom, or
Yeah,
Believer, that you gotta start, like, really questioning everything you do.
what's the exact breakdown here? The dice rolled 12 on my end plus 0 over 4.
So that's against you. So if
Mhm.
it goes over your check, you lose.
Okay, and I guess this is rolling against knowledge, which is 5, so it rolled 12, so yeah, that's a failure.
Critical failure, but, you know.
Damn.
Thankfully, there's no punishment for critical failures.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Alright, we're in the sewer system, and we are locked into the encounter. Blood splatter and everything.
Punch it, Chewie.
Oh, man. Well, he's cutting up people and turning them into mermaids. That ain't normal. I don't know if this blotted out section indicates anything, but I know you get this on a number of things. It's probably
So,
nothing.
If it's blotted out, it means there's potentially another way to deal with the situation. But you don't have it on hand.
Not always, but sometimes. So, I'm pretty sure this person's going to be upset that we've kind of kicked the apple cart over. And they're going to try and turn us into a mermaid, because I guess we're technically also on the swim team with this character, huh?
Yep, there's an achievement for beating the Mad Janitor with this character.
Well then. He's angry, he's got an axe, and he's fairly robust. Kind of like the Butcher from Diablo in a lot of ways, but not quite so bad. Alright then. So,
He hits for 2, which means we should probably see how many times we can hit him, and he has a lot of health.
now before we go swinging under defensive options, we have a couple of extra boys here for the sake of story. We can topple a lamp and try to set the entire thing on fire, which will have consequences. We also have the ability to open a manhole, which would be easier if we had a specific tool. Don't have the tool. So, switching back to your standard offensive options, we have 60% chance to hit. I guess it could be worse.
You can swing 5 times a turn.
I think I'm going to go ahead and top myself off with my handy dandy water bottle. So that'll bump it up
Take
one.
a swig of water before you fight.
You want to stay hydrated when you're engaging, insane axe-wielding maniacs. It can work up
Might be
quite
able
the
to-
sweat.
You might be also able to dodge or block and get a couple hits in. 'Cause
All right.
Your attacks so quick, we can take a chance to reduce damage.
Yeah, the Dex one looks like it works pretty good, so we'll do the Dex. Let's see here.
If you ever get a prompt that feels like the enemy is making a big attack, I just try to block.
That makes sense. Okay, so we're
I think you
swinging.
can also double dodge if you're feeling extra feisty, but like, yeah, you could swing 3 times and go for a dodge. Like,
You got to trade on something like this. That's just the right type of balance in combat. So it looks like we hit him once. Yeah. And he landed, but he don't do that much damage on this setting. So I'm going to go with that attack tempo.
You also might be able to supplement one of the swings for 280% hits too, for better optimization too.
Yeah, you know
doesn't
what?
matter.
I'll try that.
It looks like you dodged that time.
Mm-hmm. Get up it a little bit more.
Make sure to read the bottom text though when the characters attack, because sometimes they'll give a cue that they're about to do a power hit,
Gotcha.
and that's the time I typically try to block.
We dodged again, so it's working out pretty good this time.
If both of them hit, I'm a little behind on the stream.
Mm-hmm. It's hitting. We got him down to 14, so we're swinging again. Yep, we might get him this round. And we dodged another attack, so we're getting pretty lucky. He's kind of clumsy with that axe.
Well, this time, when you know you can get a kill, just double down on the offense. Go for prep attacks, and then just line up the math how you need to line up the math.
Yeah, that does make
Because
sense.
So if you can kill the enemy, they die before they execute their turn.
Yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed, so we'll finish him off. So the Mad Janitor has fallen. He did. And
Like
we
I
get
said,
his
that
axe.
Steak knife, pretty good. And the other thing is, that axe is a beast of a weapon.
I don't think I should be using it, though, because it's strength-based. Although we have almost as much strength as Dex, so we probably should use it.
It's more of, it comes down to feel and familiarity, or if you need money for a different run, the axe sells for 2 gold instead of 1.
Yeah, well, I'll switch to the
So-
axe, because axe!
Axe to meet you.
And we got that achievement, like you said, for stabbing him.
It's specifically with Ico as the
Mhm.
achievement.
So we get ending A, we get 30 XP, we get a bonus 15, which that's basically half a level,
Yeah.
which is pretty good. Doom reduction, high doom reduction for, you know, thorough investigate. No, we get thorough investigations XP, tireless, and day
That's where you don't
passes.
take a rest.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't take a rest at all during your investigations, you'll get a +1/+1 naturally at
No,
the end of each day.
I was always wondering what that was. So, keep on with that. So, just to check here, we are at 11:37. So,
Yeah, I'm aware. You could probably clock out one more mystery, then I'll have to pop off.
alright. So, we'll try to do that. So, we got a level up here.
If you got Fast Swimmer on there,
Mhm.
pop it and pop up your strength, so you can make your axe, like, really crazy fast.
Yep, so Fast Swimmer is a unique perk for Akko. It enables her to attack quicker, and combined with her already high dexterity, it's going to make her a real quick attacker, as a matter of fact. So, you always get a debuff to your environment whenever you complete a mystery. In this situation, you have riots.
Ooh, that's pretty innocuous. It just means you'll encounter more human enemies.
So I think that
Downtown.
means downtown the threat level probably increases, so things are a little dangerous if you have to go there, more or less. So, alright, we're going to go back to the home. We're going to try and knock out one more mystery here. So,
Don't forget to take your shower, fill your water bottle.
yep, so we're going to fill our bottle up. We're going to go for the XP boost because we're not that banged up. And we're going to start a new mystery. What would you like to do, Burke?
I'm waiting for it to catch up. Ramen's a fun one if you want to get that out of the way. But Curious Contagion of a Coma is probably my preferred one to do.
Okay, to get the bosses out of the way?
You know, my sentiment is kill bosses as quickly as possible. Because the higher that Doom gets, the more dangerous they're going to be. And you're playing on Alexander,
Mm-hmm.
where the numbers are already higher to begin with. So by the end of the experience, you might find a boss that can do 5 damage across the board
Yeah, that makes sense.
per turn. And they'll have like 50 health.
Alright, so we're doing Contagious Coma. You got a situation where people are falling into weird comatose states without much explanation. So, We're going to try and find out what the hell's going on. So we're checking the news reports, and I guess we're investigating the village in order to get the extra. So where the hell is that? Right here. So we're looking.
Hey,
Welcome in.
Mm-hmm.
just chilling, playing my DS.
Alright, just so you know, Fox, we are live. But I will be editing the video, so don't worry about it too much.
Oh, hey.
Alrighty. So we got the crazy hermit in this situation. I always just see this as a positive advantage to get, you know, an extra spell if possible, most of the time anyway.
It's a Doom risk, which Doom risk isn't usually that bad.
Yo,
Especially
send me a
on
link
any-
to your Twitch. I think you're on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, send me a link.
What's
I'll
that?
take care of that. You focus on the stream, my friend.
Mhm.
I got it.
Alright,
Alrighty. So
thanks, Bert.
we're gonna go ahead and roll the dice on this. We got a spell! What do we get? Flesh regrowth. Not
Flesh
great.
regrowth is it's more of a desperation spell is what I always call it.
Yeah, I could agree with that. It's good if you need it and you don't have any other option. Alrighty.
It's kind of a last ditch effort is what I always call it, or because the funny thing is in this game, as long as you don't leave the screen that the event happened on, you can heal yourself before it ends and you don't get a game over. The moment you hit, oh, I understand that I am below health and I'm going to the next event, you get a game over. So, in this case, you dip below 0 health, right? Well, you can use it after the event happens, but before you go to the next screen to heal yourself back to a level that keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
And also for getting spells gives you reason too. So you basically have a last ditch effort reason health too.
Mm-hmm. There's something to be said for that. Alright. So we'll keep on this. We'll investigate the village again.
When you're treading the line of a mental breakdown, a spell can be the difference between you losing the entire game and winning.
Yep, we got another flooded scenario here, so not too much to this. Doom. Yep. And we got the Dust of Seeing, which will allow us to deal with the encounter down the line. Oh, that's a spooky looking creature, isn't it?
Dust of Seeing is also, even if you don't do that boss fight, is a pretty useful
Oh,
item.
it neutralizes a foe, essentially. It makes them very weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
So,
cool. Alright, so we'll keep going on with it then. You're just trying to figure out more stuff about this weird disease. We got nothing to go on. Oh, look! It's our spooky guy.
I hate this boy so much.
Hi! Why? What? Something,
Oh, Jesus.
something
He
bothering?
takes so much goddamn time to show up and take your reason.
Oh
So
my
you just
god.
watch there and you're like, well, I'm gonna lose reason. And sometimes he's quick and sometimes he takes like 30 seconds and I just want to yell at him. If you're gonna scare me, god damn it.
Fair enough. Alright, going to the
Was that
hospital.
video? You're the monster. You're supposed to scare me. Why are you running?
Oh, this is morbid. So let's see. We got low charisma and low knowledge. I think we should probably do nothing in this situation.
For it. Yeah, go for it.
I'm skipping.
I'm not even saying no.
Alright. So we take minimal damage and we get away from it. We have to borrow Patient Zero's information, so we're sneaking around the hospital again.
Snooping around as usual, I see.
Oh, we got a couple of options here. I would think the sensible option would be to let the nurse sleep, don't you, Burke?
It would, but you also have high dex.
This is true, so I guess we can sneak, huh? I guess so. Oh, that didn't work.
Well, the other thing about letting her sleep, setting trash can on fire is a guaranteed success at the cost of location threat increase.
Mm-hmm. Freaks
Something
everyone out.
Something I didn't take into account for until I saw the extra math was this area has a higher penalty area. You'll notice the +1.
Yeah.
If you let her sleep, it will naturally lower the location threat at the cost of a little doom. But if a location is dangerous enough, you automatically get double Doom just for checking the area. So sometimes it's in your best interest. to
Oh,
just
so
focus
so
on
you can
blowing.
really pollute an area then and make it super difficult to complete it then if you're not careful,
And
huh?
on the hardest difficulties, there will always be at least one territory that has full Doom right off the bat, and you can't do anything about it.
Oh, it makes it super nasty and super dangerous. So yeah, when you're going around, pay attention to this Doom level. Or threat level, I guess, for where you're at.
And the police officers that often get overlooked, it only costs like one Doom to send him to an area that you need to go to.
Mm-hmm, and it will reduce it by 1, I believe, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, it's super important. It's probably the most overlooked feature in the game, actually, now that you bring it up.
Well, they even recently repatched it to make the police station more useful. Because to be honest, I always skipped over it, or if I knew I had to do a run that needed a lot of money, I
Mhm.
would only have it there just to trade EXP for money.
So yeah, just bringing this up. Police station, I don't think there's anything to... Oh? What's over here? Handcuffs?
Yep.
I didn't know you could do that.
It's another overlooked feature. It's a pretty useful item.
Wow, it gives a straight up debuff.
It's a small debuff, but a useful one. And if you're fighting a human player, such as the Mad Janitor, if he's at less than 12 health, you can automatically win the fight.
That's pretty cool. Well, I learned
You
something
just
new.
Puff them to a thing.
Mm-hmm. Alright, now, like you were saying, you can trade your XP for funds. Sometimes it's useful, but it also is kind of slow. And, well, since we're here, we can request more police at the hospital, so I think we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, it just straight up decreases it. Did I even have to pay anything?
A little bit of Doom, but that's about it. That's just for you to go there, though. And you're also paying Doom for the item, is the way I always think of it.
Oh, there's a badge there now. Look at that.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
They have a better indication that they're helping out. Originally, that wasn't there, too. You just request more patrols, and I never could tell when it was doing anything, so...
Alright, well, hospital should be easier to deal with now. Well, I guess this is just a item chance with different checks, more or less, huh? Alright, I'm gonna do the far
Cloth
left option. Go ahead.
Cloth is, luck.
What are the other two?
I know Search Cabinet is a knowledge.
Which
And
is
then
shit.
fuck around and find out and check the freezer.
I guess what I'm gonna
Go.
do.
Risk it.
For the biscuit.
Uh-oh.
Fuck around.
Look
find
around
out.
and find out. It's ghost time.
Oh.
It's Jane Doe! And it's a ghost!
There's a ghost.
I
He
figured
hanged
if
up
you're doing a
ghost.
tutorial, you should probably cover ghosts, because
Yep.
you have the health to deal with taking a risk.
Yep. So anyway, this is a ghost enemy. They're ethereal, so you can't use normal physical attacks. You can bribe them with funds, or I guess you can wave your weapon around and hope they go away.
Well, you can sever their physical connection to the world, which I think in lore you figure that out somehow pretty quickly, but one of the reasons we use the Fire Axe is because you can only ever sever connections twice, and Fire Axe has a higher base damage. So you could knock her out in 2 turns, but you could also take a stab at trying to do the praying. And also you're getting raided by Captain Pad.
Oh,
Hello, Raiders.
hello Raiders. How are you doing? It is a pirate raid.
Yar har har.
Welcome, welcome. I'm an internet slime that plays games good. Today I'm with Wild Burke, our local resident mudman, who is an expert on horror games, and we are... I guess we're giving a bootstrapping tutorial on how to play World of Horror. We're going through the early stages of the game and explaining how to survive and how to get the most out of your run. Let me go ahead and give you a shout out.
Hey, Burke, I think you said later game there's a seizure warning as well.
I mean, there's just a lot of strobing lights in this game
I
in
see.
general.
Yeah.
It's definitely a thing
I
that
didn't
goes
notice
on.
this, but that door with the plague sign has eyes on it. It's like cat eyes or something.
Dead Island 2 is a good choice. I hope you made a lot of progress with that.
Yo, Dead Island 2 is fun. I've been playing it.
They also added colors a long time ago. It's just the base game it will default you to the black and white, and then after you play your first round, you can fiddle with it. Or if you go into options before playing the first game, you can fiddle with them.
Yeah, you generally
There's a
get
lot of
this
color.
option, but you get a whole host of color options here.
They've added more with each update, but there's
Yo,
been
pink.
at least since the early 2000. Because I remember when I bought this game, the first thing I saw on Google when I looked up, like, oh hey, what about this? And it's like,
Scary.
is this game dead? Was the-
No,
So
yeah, there's
about
always
the
been a color
undead,
palette
though.
since the 2021.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go back to our Shiba palette, which is your choice. My choice would be Neon Slasher. Both S choices as far as I'm concerned, as far as palettes goes. Oh, you're
Yeah,
making
Neon
some
Slasher.
good headway, Captain. I'm glad to see it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's had a lot of updates here lately. Another reason why we're going over it. We'd like to see more people playing this hidden indie
about to
gem.
get-
Yeah, another one,
It's
really.
about to get its full console.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's about to get its full console release, the 1.0.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be coming out later this year. I mean, actually, probably sooner as opposed to later, huh?
It's supposed to be a summer release on the Switch, so, and that's
it
officially
really?
when that has to be the one. Yep,
That's going to be in the next 3 months then, probably, huh?
yep.
That's a
Uh,
good thing.
That's when I'm hoping it'll get the extra attention it deserves, because I genuinely think this is one of the best indie games that's come out in a long time.
Also, hello there, Teddy. Welcome to the stream. And hello, lurkers, for anyone that's sitting back, relaxing. I guess it is late, so we're at least going to be running this to the end of the mystery. Yeah, so let's get back to this. I guess we're severing the connection of the world with this lady, yeah?
If you want to play it safe, sever ties.
Well, what am I going to do, clapping and bowing? I mean, come on. The song and dance?
You can do it. You can. I just don't recommend it, because if it's not an easy seed, you'll probably die.
Let's not die. I like that plan. So let's see. What do we got here? It's a ghost female, weak to fire, restless, so you can't run from this encounter. And she's composed of the countless bodies examined in this hospital. I'm
Hit
gonna
her
keep.
twice for sever tie.
I'm,
Don't
I'm,
even assess her.
I'm
Just
gonna.
don't- just
I'm
beat the
stabbing her.
crap out of her.
She
we
been
have something
stabbed.
better than the shovel. We have the fire axe.
Yep. We got the axe, baby. Oh yeah.
Fighting enemies always gets a pretty good amount of EXP.
Mm-hmm. You see, it's an excellent
Basically-
melee weapon. You want to know how I know? The description here says it's an excellent melee weapon, so I know the slime knows.
Fire axe is actually just a faster shovel.
Yeah.
In terms of what its damage output, it's just a faster shovel. Yeah, you don't get the random one loop potentially from it, but there's so many other perks and other weapons that are better serving the role.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like the axe. It's a better weapon. It's no katana, but it's an axe. It's pretty damn good.
I like the homemade improvised flamethrower myself, but it's such a hard weapon to get that it's never worth it.
You sure that just ain't a RE7 callback for you? Preference? Well, I can't blame you there. It's good taste.
It's genuinely hard because A, you need the fire axe, so you have to beat this mission. Then you have to go to the brute mystery, have enough health to get to the firehouse, take 2 hits from that boss, no blocking whatsoever, and then hope you can kill it on the first turn with the flamethrower. It's a pretty tall order.
Alright, so anyway, we're going to keep doing this, because you do want to cut this after your this mystery, right, Burke? You don't want to run too far over? Okay, so we'll wrap this up.
I mean, you can finish the rest of it afterwards. The rancid ramens are really straightforward. Just discard some items along the way,
Yeah.
and you have the funds to do it.
Alright,
Oh
alright.
god, it's Ivy Woman. Is that Ivy VT?
It's Stock-chan. What's her story? Well, we got a fire axe, so this shouldn't be too hard, huh?
She might give you a useful item after you win.
It's stabbing time.
Talk about hacking above.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I did not realize how quick you swing that fire axe.
Oh yeah, it's a quick axe. I'm gonna make short work of her. She's gonna be completely stumped. Ha ha! I'll beat her all night. Anyway.
She's definitely has more bark than bite.
Yep. So we got a branch. I think that just goes to a...
Yeah.
Alright. So we're finding that they're using runic magic to mess with the patients in one capacity or another. They're doing something spooky.
But by the way, if you discard the branch and the Rancid Ramen mystery, it still counts as a discarded item.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that's why I'm saying, like, any item, even if it has no intrinsic use to you, initially, can be a throwable item. That's an extra, like, damage. It helps solve other mysteries. Every item is useful in some way. Even if it doesn't have a practical use, like, oh, I'd never buy that item, sure. But getting it free, oh yeah, baby.
All right, so we're gonna keep going on this. Uh-oh, we're getting pickpocketed. We got pickpocketed. It's what it is.
So what? That's the curse of having money in this game.
They steal it, and then the Portax shows up, and they get you both directions, right?
God, there's nothing that gets me more hot-headed than, I'm having a good run. Oh no, I had to use my money. And then literally the next turn, hi, it's poor people tax. Would you like to lose 3 health or 5 doom?
That's gotta, you know, burn your ass with a flame about this high, right, Burke?
It's fucking awful. I hate it. I hate the poor people tax.
We got the art gallery in the hospital. Always a wonderful event. Okay.
You can tell I played this game too long. I don't call them by their proper names anymore. I just...
Yeah, it's all like, screw this. Fuck that guy. You know, you have pet names for everything.
I have too much time in this game.
Alright, so anyway, we are in the coma wing, and the grayed out option on the right, we now have an option there to use the dust of seeing that we got from accomplishing the bonus objective. So, we're going to change this into just being a mystery to, oh god, things got weird in a hurry. There's a weird noodly man trying to eat that coma patient.
Oh no, foreboding knowledge.
Weird elongated monsters hanging from the ceiling above every bed. Well, we gotta do something about that. I can't let this stand. He seems to have taken umbrage to this. The noodly man is trying to attack us. Wait a second. Is he physical? I thought he was a spiritual enemy. I guess not, huh?
He's physical. He's just
extra noodly. Alright.
The good news is, you can just beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, you're probably right. Let's see here. Get one in. So we're gonna get a spec on him.
I will warn you, he hits both your stats. He
Yeah.
hits both of them. So your reason is at risk.
I think we're gonna be throwing items.
I think, you can hit so many times and you can block. Remember, your block is guaranteed.
Yeah, this is true. So we'll do that. Slow him down a little bit.
Block once and then make a prep hit. Like, make it a guaranteed hit.
Alright, big swing, huh? Yep, let's do that. That's gonna crush him. Ooh. Yeah, that.
And then after that, the math will stack up that you can just take him out with a full offensive swing.
Yeah, you're right about that. I guess we will do that then.
Like I said, once you start thinking of this, once your math skills start to kick in, you'll see it as that, oh, I can beat him in turn 3. You know how chess masters will be like, checkmate in 10 moves?
And we killed the noodly man.
Good.
Alright, unfortunately, it was just a finger from the other side. So the spaceman is gone now. He's gone into another dimension.
Omega, the way you did that combat sequence stressed me the fuck out, I'm not gonna lie. You could have just done 2 prep attacks and it would have been fine. The way you did it, that left it to chance. I have lost runs because of that carelessness. So that had me stressed.
I wouldn't do that to you, Burke, would I? Yes, I would.
No, you would definitely never out that I was awful at a snowmobile section.
Oh, God. We were both awful at that section, Burke. Are you kidding me?
No one's good at the snowmobile section.
You can't be good at the snowmobile section. This is an RE6 reference for anyone that's curious.
I am back.
All
Welcome back. I'm Dad.
All right.
Okay, look here, Burke. We can't keep meeting like this.
Oh, man. All right. So anyway, we wrapped up this mission. So anyway, any closing thoughts on this? I think I'll keep this simple because Squid's still streaming and I'll edit this down to something a little more refined. Any closing thoughts before I carry this off?
World of Horror, take risks at first. Learn the game. Don't be afraid to play on easy mode your first few rodeos. Because unlike another game I love, Risk of Rain, it doesn't penalize you for playing on easy mode for achievements. So learn the game on easy, work your way up. Because, man, the game will certainly know how to kick you down once you play on the harder difficulties. You can do everything right and still lose that game.
Alrighty then. Okay, chat and viewers, make sure to give Wild Burke a follow. Local resident Mudman horror aficionado. And overall, great guy and personal friend. Glad to have you for this introduction to World of Horror. We'll be going into it in more detail, hopefully soon when we have a little more time to work with.
Alright, you lovable slime. I gotta go.
Get to bed, take care of your business. I'm going to do my socials, and we're going to be raiding Tired Squid. She is running Myst 4. Excellent, relaxing game for anyone that's trying to drift off to sleep. Also another...
I agree with the captain.
Fantastic streamer. So give me just a second here. I'm going to plug my YouTube, my Discord, and my eBay. I got Past Adventures. We also have a library on the Discord, and we sell cards, games, and comics. We are raiding the Squid! Go give her a slime time, guys. Thank you again for the raid, and enjoy your time with Squid. Alrighty. See y'all later. Thanks for watching.
Someone playing Myst, that's a thing I haven't seen for long. I could play it again as well.